So we'll go ahead and get the recording started just to let everyone know this session will be recorded. It will go out to you in an email along with the slide deck, the PowerPoint. And we will also have a link to a survey that you can fill out to let us know how the session was. If there's any changes we can make, give us your feedback. But that being said, we will go ahead and get started. I just want to say good morning to everyone. Congratulate you all on certification. Very exciting. Um, so in this webinar, you're going to learn everything you need to know about becoming certified, or now that you are certified, what comes along with your certification, everything you need to know. And I'm having trouble with my slides now, of course. Of course. Okay. Usually there's a little button on there we go. Okay. So now we will introduce the team just so you can put a face to any names you see in any emails. Chuck Hendricks is our interim president and CEO. Dr. Frederica Singletary is our chief operations officer. Jackie Jordan is our fractional chief financial officer. LaCosta Moore is our fractional chief human resource officer. We have Courtney Martin, our senior director of marketing, communications, and engagement. Dr. Kitiana Lowe, Director of Programs and Events. Colleen Rudisell, our Director of Certification and Outreach. Robert Moore, our Certification Manager. Devin Davis, our Corporate Engagement Manager. And then Morgan McDonald, me, Administrative Assistant for WBEC ORV. And Anita Steele, our newest team member, our Certification Specialist. And we have our wonderful presenter today, Miss Barb Smith. She knows everything about being certified that I don't. And she is the president of Journey Steel. And I will go ahead and kick it off to her.
Okay, thank you, Morgan.
Yes,
So, as Morgan said, I'm Barb Smith, president of Journey Steel. Sadly, just a side note, I started my business in 2009 and got certified around 2010 or 11. So I wasn't that big of a procrastinator, but 2009 is a wonderful time to have a tab open. I want to say congratulations, ladies. You are now part of the best sisterhood that you ever wanted to have. And I am also going to put this disclaimer out there. I am pitch hitting. I was not supposed to be doing this presentation. They normally only limit it to one time a year for me because I am going to mess it up. I'm just telling you that now. And the fact that I just decided to pitch hit because that's what we do when we're a sisterhood. We join in and help each other out. So as Morgan is going back through these slides, you've already seen the team. And like I said, and you get to meet me, and we will have time for questions, and you can go to, yeah. So we're back at the congratulations, and we're going to dive right in. What we're going to be able to cover today, next slide, Morgan, is the overview of, are you still having trouble with the slide? Okay. Are you good, Morgan, with
good.
Like that? Hey,
Sorry.
you guys, we're going to have grace and mercy, okay? With
Thank
us,
you, everyone.
you're in here now. You can't go. You're members, your sisterhood. We have you, and this is what you're going to get. So the overview today is going to be basically the high-level overview of what WBEC is, the network, and then the core certification opportunities, research, resources, and engagement. Next slide. So about WBEC. Mission basically is to fuel economic growth globally through access to opportunities by identifying, certifying, and facilitating development of women-owned businesses. The core platform, of course, is the certification, the opportunity, the resources, and engagement. And this is real. So now you are now part of 20,000 plus certified WBEs all across the United States. 20,000. Okay. we're big and we're growing. There are over 550 corporate members, and there are 14 regional partner organizations that feed into the 20,000. We are WBEC ORV, Ohio River Valley. We are the best of the 14. I will tell you that. I'm not just blowing smoke up your behinds because this is the one that we're in. We truly are engaged. We are the epitome of what every regional organization partnership should be. We add value to the over 20,000 that are already certified, and we bring value to you as an individual and to your business. I lie to you not about that. And it's one national partner organization. So these are the pieces: 14 regionals feeding part of that 20,000 certified women-owned businesses. You have 20,000. If you're an only child, you're no longer an only child. You have 19,999 sisters now. Next slide. So the network, okay? So certified WBEs and WOSBs. Then that's part of Sally, I think, part of the thing you were asking, which again, we'll get into the questions. So basically, by being WBEC certified, when you filled out your certification, if you also wanted to have the national recognition, you are nationally recognized, even though you're part of this, the 14, one of the 14. As a WSB, if you do any federal work, that is a federal certification that came with the certification you received, and it does go by your Nexus codes if you qualify to be a WOSB. So again, here's the map. This is over the 22,000 and the 14 regional partners. As you can see, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia is the ORB, but this also shows you where the other 13 regional partners are housed to make up the one big footprint of your network. Next slide. So I've already talked about the regional partner organizations. The last slide showed you where they are across the United States, and this just lists them individually. This is being recorded, so you will be able to have a copy of the deck. So this just shows you all 14 regions. You'll hear them call, like I said, we are ORV. Some of them are just East, West, you name it. But this is just a list of what the previous slide showed you in pictures. I'm a picture person, so I love the pictures, but this is the written part. Next slide. So the WBEC brand. WBEC Link 2.0. That is something you want to make sure you stay very familiar with. It houses the main brand access, including the seal, the logo, and the brand guidelines. So in that, you want to make sure, if you haven't already, go out there and visit that, because now you can start branding your company in your emails, on your social media links, on your products, if you are a product-driven company and not a service-driven company. I do steel. It's kind of hard to put this logo on a piece of steel, but hey, if you have products or services, you will see this. And it does have guidelines as to where to use it, how to use it. And again, the WBEC Link 2.0 is going to be very important. Make sure you remember that. And that's something that will follow you throughout your certification process. When you attend national events, when you register, you'll have your WBEC Link 2.0 is part of the things they'll ask you about. We can dig in that a little bit deeper as we keep going. Next slide. So the WBE seal, show off your status, like I said, as a WBEC certified women business enterprise by using the seal. Is put it on your proposals, your business cards, your websites, advertise it. As some of we were talking earlier, of course, before this started, it's like, it does make a difference. If it comes down to you and someone else, if they see that you're certified for 99.9% of the time, that may tip the scales. So definitely show it off. And then the woman-owned logo. Again, if you have products, you can put this on your products. Let the public know. And hopefully, you guys, when you're out shopping and different things, look for these logos. They are on some products in stores, in the Walmarts, in Kroger, in Target, different places you may go. And the same way, I don't know for you, but for me, I know if I'm out, if I am shopping, I'm not an avid shopper, but if I am shopping and I'm looking at products or services, this catches my eye, and it will tilt me to say, hey, here's one of my sisters that I can help support. So make sure you're looking for this and utilizing it on your products and services. Next slide. And so these are just the suggested uses again of the seal and of the logo. So you can be on the lookout for it when you're doing marketing materials and different things, just in your signature, on your web page, on your proposals. Again, on your proposals, make sure you're doing that. Even if it is not quote unquote part of the criteria, people are looking, and they're thinking like, wow, these two companies, they look great. And then if they see that logo, again, that may tip the scale in your favor. So definitely use it, tattoo it on everything that you possibly can. And when you visit the website, this is where you can get the actual logo, the seals that you need to be able to put on your printed products or services. Next slide. So these are the do's and don'ts. One of the don'ts should be that they should never allow me to do this presentation, but they keep letting me do it. So there is grace and mercy. Now, but when you're talking about the WBE certification, being WBE certified means that you are a role model for other aspiring WBEs. Talking about WBE certification requires some specific brand messaging. You do want to make sure that you're using it correctly. As you can see in the do column, I won't go through all of this, but it is WBE. It's not WBE. It is WBE certified. Make sure you're using the hyphen. We do want it to be consistent, so please make sure. And again, if you go out on the website and go back to this presentation, look at how you should be utilizing it in words so that we stay consistent. And also remember that when we say that you are certified, it's your business. It's not you as an individual. Always refer to the business as being certified. Say, Journey Steel is a certified WBE. We are WBEs. We are women certified businesses, and we're part of a big sisterhood, but it is the business that's certified. So if you leave your company, the certification does not follow you. It's the company. And I know one of you just said that you bought out, but if it changes, it stays, and it has to be 51% owned and controlled by a woman. The change in ownership, which we'll get into that a little bit later as well. These are things that you want to make sure that you're keeping up. You are newly certified, but you already want to be thinking about your recertification. And so we'll get into that. Next slide, please. So the WBE 2.0 link is a fully digitized proprietary database of the WBE's corporate and government members. You will not, I will say this, though, this is one of the frequently asked questions, you will not find a list of every WBE when you go out there. It does not exist. Number one, you saw the team. The team is small. We have over 2,200 in our RPO as it is, and over 22,000, and it does change. You have to get certified each year, recertified each year. So trying to keep up with 22,000 or even 2,200 in our regional partner organization is impossible. So you will not find a comprehensive list of WBE certified businesses. So you can go out there, though, you can see the corporates, you can see the government members, because there's 550, and in our regional organization, there's less than that. However, you will not find a comprehensive list. So if you're looking for another WBE, get involved, ask questions, but you're not going to just be able to search a list and find it there. WBE provides both Women Business Enterprise certification and Women-Owned Small Business certification, which again is the federal certification. So right now, you are newly certified, you're definitely WBE certified. And if you check the box when you did your certification and qualified, you are also WOSB. You will get two different certificates if you did do both, and we can talk about that a little later if there are questions. So next slide. The recertification process. Okay, why are we talking about that and you guys are newly certified? Because get prepared, and hopefully it won't take another 10 years or so, to gather all your information. I'm sorry, Sally, I'm gonna keep picking on you. You never should have told me that. But anyway.
I was actually just thinking I need to make my to-do list right now because
yes, Sally, this slide is just for you. And if anybody else wants to do it. But now the recertification process, they have made it so much easier. But the things that you really just need to pay attention to, It's really simple. Of course, your financial information is something that you need to have at hand each time you recertify. But the only time that it really will become cumbersome or whatever, and if you wait to the last minute. If you move, if your company physically moves, you need to, let us know that as soon as possible, because when you do go to recertify, these are things, if you changed ownership, if ownership is changed in any way, shape, form, or fashion, these are the things that will make the process a little bit more difficult with the recertification. But which that's what the slide says, capture, management control of the business. But start planning ahead. Put it on your calendar if you have not already. 90 days out. I do believe I get an email. I'm not sure anymore. I've been certified forever, and it's on my calendar because I do it 90 days out from whatever date you were certified. Put a reminder on your calendar that you need to do your recertification process, because you want to make sure you're submitting it no later than 60 days out. Okay. But 30 days, they're telling you 30 to 60. Have mercy on the team. The sooner you get it in, then you're not, because it will expire. If you don't get through the process, it does expire at that year point. And even if you submitted it, but I submitted it yesterday, well, that's because you didn't attend this recertification or newly certified. And what do I need to do? And then make Morgan and I look bad, because if any of you four try to recertify and you just submitted it 5 days, I'm telling on you, because we're telling you now, and it's recorded. Get it in, try to get it in 90 days before to give them the time to review. Okay, because it will recertify. But trust me, you are a part of the sisterhood. Stuff happens, and they can try to rush it through. We don't want to make them rush it through. We want to be responsible and make sure that we're going to recertify. I believe they're doing visits, physical visits again. Normally when you recertify, it might be a virtual site visit, but just be prepared, have any paperwork ready. But as long as you plan ahead, and if nothing changes, the process is really, 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 really painless, because you already have all your stuff. Keep your stuff, keep all your backup, and then it's just a matter of the updating of the financials and giving them time. Put it on your calendar 90 days out. Okay. Next slide. All right. So regional certification, regional. I didn't look at the slide ahead. Bear with me, guys. Okay. It's a standalone 501(c)(3) that serves as one of the 14 regional partners. We have over 1,100. I said 2,200. So I guess I had one eye shut when I was looking, and opened up the other eye and thought there were 2,200 of us, but there's 1,100 of us in our region, and we have 80 corporate members. What does that mean? That corporate members are in this region. Okay. Just because they're in this region, they may not be a national corporate member. So again, we feed into the national, but we have over 80, and there's 550 corporate members nationally. We have access to all 550. The nice thing is that there's 80, and I'm just going to throw out, I'm going to use like Fifth Third Bank. I know that they're a corporate member of us here, and they're headquartered here. But they're also a national member. So think about that. When you're going out to national, some of the corporates are here locally for us. So that's more touch points. That's getting to know them. That's one of the reasons I say we have a very, very, very strong RPO, because really our corporate members are engaged with the 1,100 certified WBEs all around the region. We have a lot of activities to get to know. And again, the mission of WBE, of We Back ORV, is leading through an innovative, collaborative, and engaged group of corporates, governments, WBEs, and advocates. We are the catalyst for growth, sustainability, by adding more corporate partners and WEs in Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia region. And the vision is to be the premier resource for women-owned business development. And I'm telling you, they're living up to the mission and vision. They are here to help us. They're here to help our companies grow. They're here to help us grow as leaders, giving us access to resources and opportunities like no other. Next slide. We sort of already covered this. Like I said, the tips for the certification and the annual renewal: just don't wait, put it on your calendar, make sure all the backup data that you have that in one spot. You will need the new financials, and then you also will if there's no changes, it makes it a little less painless. They will send out a communication. It looks like a notification. Make sure also, and I'm sorry, and this is probably somewhere else, but again, I'm pitch hitting today. So that's the reason that you have to give me more grace and mercy. I do normally go back through these slides. I have not. I'm telling you, I have not prior to this morning. The thing that you want to make sure that you do is sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter comes out monthly and it has all the information in it that you want to be engaged and get engaged. When you're engaged, and when I say engaged, you want to attend the online events, the personal events, you want to in-person events, you want to volunteer. You want to make sure that you're getting to know the sisterhood, that you're getting to know the team, the ORV team, and that if it makes sense for you to go national, to the national yearly conference, do that. It is just the exposure. And again, you're part of a sisterhood. You may not be able to be in every room, but when one of your sisters is in a room and we understand your business, you now have, 1,100 advocates in this RPO and 22,000 nationally. It really does happen when you're engaged and people know what you're doing, what your company's doing, what you're about, and you're showing the fact that you want to be a part, being a part of this big family and not just saying I'm certified and we never see you. Next slide. So the regional opportunities, ORV BDP. It's an awesome program. It is a comprehensive 7-month business development program. This is one of the opportunities. It is normally sponsored by a corporation, and maybe if I just read the slide. So P&G, Bath and Body Works, Marathon, and Fifth Third. You will have access to these corporations, but it is the Kaufman track. I actually went through the African American Business Development Program, which happened before the Ohio River Valley program. I take credit for us having ORV BDP. Sheila Mixon and Rhea Walden were the original creators of this program. It is dynamic. If you guys have been through Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business or any other business development program, this one is up there. It is tremendous. It is time consuming, but you create a sisterhood with your class. You get to know some of the corporations, whoever is sponsoring it. They will come in and you're hearing from the experts, and you walk away with just nuggets and a game plan to scale your business, have strategic growth. It is, like I said, it's working on your business and not in your business, which is the goal of every business owner. We want to be able to work on it and not in it so that we can keep the vision straight. Definitely, when you get the opportunity to apply for ORV BDP, do so. Like I said, I believe they don't take more than 10. Morgan can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I know they like to keep the classes small. That way it's engaging and it's meaningful, and it's not just a big lecture hall. It is definitely hands-on. You get that sisterhood and you get to really know your business. So that's one of the regional opportunities that, to my knowledge, I don't think any of the other regional partners are offering. There are some other development programs that are offered nationally, which again, you're part of that. But definitely take advantage of ORV BDP. Next slide. So some of our signature events are the WBE Connects, which I know there's one coming up soon, which when I pass this back over to Morgan, she'll give you all the events coming up. The Catch the Wave, which we just had last month. I think it was August, might have been July. My months are running together, but that's our yearly conference. That's where we have about 300, maybe 300 to 400 on average that come out for our conference. It is fabulous. It is you must attend Catch the Wave. Plan on it. It's in Louisville, I believe, Louisville or Lexington. Again, when Morgan gets back on, she can correct every mistake I've made, which her list is going to be long, but she'll have the actual dates and or at least the time frame and be able to tell you more about it. And then the Bold and Brilliant. These are our signature events. So part of the national is the Women of Color, which is the Bold and Brilliant. I believe now, and again, Morgan can correct me if I'm wrong, but these are our signature events that we have. The WBE Connects happen I want to say every 2 months, I'm not sure, but that's something that we just re-engaged with. The Catch the Wave is once a year, and Bold and Brilliant has one big event, and I think other events throughout the year. So those are the signatures. The other regional events is doing business and corporate webinars, the industry-specific events, corporate member supply diversity events across the region, professional and business development, the webinars, of course, the monthly WBE onboarding webinar, because I'm screwing this one up. If you guys want to attend another one next month, go for it and say, yeah, I just wanted to get through this because Barb is like, I'm watching if you guys drop off, so that's why you're not dropped off. But if you guys are over there throwing darts at me, I can't see that either right now. But you can always come back as a refresher for the webinars, maximizing your certification, the annual Catch the Wave conference prep, and again, I would encourage you to do the WBE Link 2.0 webinars, because again, there's so much in that web link that you need to know about. Definitely go through that so that they can tell you all that kind of stuff. Next slide, please. So we've already sort of covered the resources. So I'm not going to bore you and go back over any of this. I will do the Act Intentionally as a campaign to support corporations that support women-owned businesses. So basically what that is, you want to pay attention to that. These are the corporations that walk the walk, walk the talk that they're talking about, where they make sure that they want to do business with women-owned businesses, and they are acting intentionally to make sure that they're doing that. And so this campaign supports corporations that support us. So, you want to make sure if you have a choice to, buy a Lexus over a Ford, is Ford a corporate sponsor, or is Lexus a corporate sponsor? Just acting intentionally, making sure that you're aware of the corporations that are supporting us. Next slide. Okay, so you're going to unlock countless opportunities. I already sort of mentioned in our regional partner organization, the things that are there for professional development, networking, and outreach. These are the nationals. The We Thrive, the We Ignite, industry specific. There's chemical industry, the energy, capstone, Wheeling. You guys will be able to see all of this again when you're getting the newsletter, when you're looking at national. It'll dive in deeper to what these things are about. You want to stay on the lookout for that. Events and pitches. Catch the Wave, we do a pitch. That pitch leads into a national pitch and things may be changing a little bit, but normally they have a yearly pitch competition, and you can win up to $20,000 by doing your pitch. And even if you don't participate in the pitch as a competition, we have the WBE Pitch Academy. I encourage you all to go through that, because we have to sell our businesses. And so this gives you little tidbits of how do you sell your business. And, we talk about the elevator pitch, where you're an elevator with somebody and they're getting off. You may only be able to go floor to floor. You need to be able to have your company nailed down to the point where you can pitch it in that 60 seconds that gets them saying, by the time the door opened, they want to take your card, and you're taking their card to say, now let's talk further. So you want to get it so you know how to really catch the attention and never miss an opportunity. Definitely look at the Pitch Academy. I encourage you all to do that and get involved with on a national level as well. Next slide, please. So the resources regionally, we strongly encourage all business owners and partners with a business coach to unlock their full potential and navigate challenges effectively. There are several valuable resources available through the Small Business Administration. These are free. Okay. There are enough resources that are free to us. So get involved with the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, Economic and Community Development Institute. All these are in our RPO. These are regional resources to help you. Definitely check them out, do your research on them, ask someone if we've been through any of this and what we've done. It's definitely worth your time, but there are so many free free resources available to us right at our fingertips. You don't want to recreate the wheel. Ask questions, get involved, look at, and there's a lot of information. And that's why we're doing these webinars to let you know you're not in this alone, you know, because it can be overwhelming if you're trying to maneuver everything that we're even going through on this slide. So again, it's recorded, but you want to make sure if you have questions, reach out, do a little research, but recognize the fact that we have so many free resources that are available. Next slide, please. And I have been talking about this hopefully throughout the whole thing. Get involved, get to know your sisters, get to know your corporations that are here. Let us see you. Let us know that you're there. Have those one-on-one talks. You know, sometimes we're looking for corporations, but and right there we want to, you know, we can do business with each other. When you guys were able to do a couple of your, you know, little brief what did you do? Introductions. When you did that, I was listening and I was like, oh, wow, you need to meet XYZ and you need to meet XYZ. This is what we do when I say that you may not be able to be in a room, but if I've heard your business, I know about your business, and I'm talking to somebody and I'm thinking, you need to meet such and such because that's what they do. We need to have that understanding. And when we see you out and about, this is what getting involved is about. I can't tell you how many times I've not been in a room, and when I've entered the room, they were like, oh, you're Barb with Journey Steel. I needed to meet you. And that's because my sisters are already, you know, talking me up because I am out there getting involved, and I encourage you guys, don't sit back. That's how you get to learn more. There is so much to unpack. Get involved, show up. And you can do it strategically. I mean, if you have your hit list and there's a corporation you want to get to, and they're putting on a webinar, the webinar may not be what you might want it to be or what you need, but if Marathon is putting on a webinar and Marathon's on your hit list, attend that webinar so that they see you. You have a connection. It's not a cold call. So be strategic, but get involved. We don't know what we don't know, but there is so much. I mean, I'm still peeling back the layers of opportunities, and I've been certified, like I said, for over 10 years, over 12 years, somewhere in there. And there is still so much that I haven't been able to exhaust, and there are things that I still need to be able to do. So get involved. Can't stress that enough. Next slide, please. Did we skip one or did I skip one? I skipped one. Okay, sorry. So engagement. So these are the some of the recognition that you get. So being a WBE star, each region nominates or picks a WBE star. This is the individual, the leader of their business. This year, our star is Molly Zwake. Molly, some of you may know her or you want to get to know her. What this does is she represents our RPO to the national organization. Every conference, every star goes, and there's just the national recognition for our star. How do you get to become a star? By being involved, by showing that you're working the network, by showing that you're volunteering, you're participating, you're growing your business, you're definitely engaged. It is an honor. We have over 1,100 sisters in our regional partner organization, and one of us gets to represent our RPO on a national level. It is something that you want to strive for. It's not something that you applied for. It's just that the team sees you and they see what you're doing, and it comes from our leadership that they nominate, they have that discussion and they narrow it down who's going to be able to represent the RPO. The annual list of American top corporations. This is where our corporates, when we're saying we recognize the corporates that are working with our WBEs that are really giving us an opportunity. So this is something on the corporate level that they do that they strive for, and you want to be able to know that, and you'll be able to say, okay, I see that you're one of the top corporations, and you're a woman-owned business. You want to get to know them because these are the ones that may have opportunity for you. And then the legacy of leaders is a group of corporate members and WBEs who serve in an industry capacity to WBEC and have held significant leadership roles. So that's just a legacy. These are just some of the things that by being engaged, these are the things that you may be able to attain on your journey. Next slide. So Trailblazer was not listed on that last slide, but our Trailblazer this year is Jill Fry. And the Trailblazer goes to someone who sets an example of greatness, both in business and in their community. The winner is honored every year at the Catch the Wave conference. Jill is phenomenal. If you don't know Jill, once you get to meet Jill, she's very engaged, very involved, very humble, and she is a trailblazer, and she's a baby doll too. She's a superstar. You can't meet Jill and not smile. It just will not happen. I don't know if any of you know Jill, but you will get to meet Jill. She's very engaged and willing to help. And like I said, Molly Zrake is our star for this year, and Molly is wonderful. She's part of the BAS. She's the principal owner of the BAS group. And this is the person, like I said, that represented us well in June when we had our national conference. Molly, again, is another person that once you meet her, she is just phenomenal and willing to help. And so now the WBEC Forum is a selected group of WBEC certified WBEs that are nominated by their RPO. I am part of the forum here for our regional partner organization. That's why I get to help go through these slides, because I'm supposed to be able to be the one, as Morgan shared with you, to know all about the certification. Now, when I first got certified and I heard about WBEC Forum, you will see the more that you're engaged, you'll hear forum, and you'll think that's not me. It is you. We are all forum members, okay? But there is a group of women that is part of the forum committee that feeds into the national, where we disseminate information from the national down to our RPO. But just because if you see a webinar, if you see an event that says forum, you are welcome as a forum member. That was one of the things that it took me a while to learn. I would be at events and it said forum, and I'm thinking, oh, that's not for me. You are part of the forum. It's a little confusing sometimes with the wording, but just know you're part of the forum. But there is a group, a forum, a committee that was selected by our RPO that meets separately and disseminates information down to the WBEs. Next slide. So again, just being engaged in the regional opportunities here for the Catch the Wave. There's ways for you to get engaged by being a sponsor. Of course, that gives you the visibility. If you're a sponsor, you'll start seeing, you'll have your logo on different things. You'll be able sometimes to have a speaking engagement to be up there. So if you can, if it's in your wheelhouse to be a sponsor, I would encourage you to be a sponsor. It gets you special rates to some of the major events. So that is just another way, because again, even though it's a 501(c)(3) organization, everything takes money. So if you are able to be a sponsor at certain events, recognize the fact, though, it is a gift. It also elevates you on a sponsorship level. Next slide. Okay, get involved to make connections. Scanning this QR code to let the committee chairs know you would like additional information. Okay, here you go. So here are the committees that you can get involved with: corporate engagement, certification, communications and marketing, finance, programming, events, and women of color. So again, this, if you don't scan it now, you'll have access to the deck, and Morgan will go over everything there. But there are committees. Get involved if there's something you're interested in. Again, this is a way to get involved, to learn more, to meet more of your sisterhood, so that you can help, maneuver through this vast 22,000 member organization. Next slide. Which I think I'm turning it over to Morgan. So I have now completed my portion. Are you guys still awake? You awake? Okay. Liz, Tracy, y'all still awake? You already were blacked out. I haven't bored you to death. Hopefully I haven't steered you wrong. I'm turning it over to Morgan now.
Thank you so much, Barb. We appreciate you. You're 10 years certified. That's awesome.
I'm actually 13.
13.
I couldn't do the math. Yeah. 13.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's awesome. But we thank you for joining us today. Um, if you have any questions, you can feel free to put those in the chat.
You're not done.
And
You're not done, Morgan.
I'm not done.
Now go to the next slide.
Oh,
Before you,
we
me and Morgan are pitch hitting today. Okay, I already told you I was pitch hitting.
You gave
Morgan's
them a warning.
pitch
I just
hitting.
got back, guys. You
Okay,
gave them their
Morgan's pitch
warning, their
hitting
heads
too.
up.
So
thank you for your grace, everyone.
yes, yes, yes.
You
But
want me to jump in, Morgan?
Yeah,
Dr.
next
K,
slide,
sure,
Morgan.
if you want to jump in.
Hi, ladies. Thank you all for joining. I'm sure you had a great time because I already knew you were in well and capable hands with Morgan and Barb, despite what they may have said beforehand. They are both amazing and truly a value add to WBEC ORV and to all that we do. Before we move into the survey and final few slides, do any of you have any questions? Did you want to just come off mute and ask about your certification or ask Barb any specific questions? Rosemary, I saw you come off mute first, and then we'll go to Sally.
Yeah, I have a few. Is there a cost to recertify?
Yes, yes,
And-
and it's a scale of, I believe, it depends on how many employees you have, I believe.
It's off of your revenue, I believe. Memory is serving me correctly.
Revenue?
Yep, it's off of your revenue. So just like you had your your certification fee in your initial application, you'll recertify every year, although the process will be a little bit different in terms of the amount of documents and forms and things like that that you'll have to fill out each year. That will be less when you do your recertification.
But it is worth it. The same way that, you're certified now, it is definitely worth it. And thank you, Dr. K. I was going to say, I know mine hasn't changed a lot in the 13 years, but I guess that means I haven't grown my company. I thought it was employees. But anyway, it's definitely worth it. It's worth it, but it'll always be around the same. Is there a cap? Once it caps out, is that why maybe?
Off the top of my head, I want to say it's $12.50. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the deck for one of our for our certification webinar, and I'll be able to give you that information from there because I know we have it in that deck.
But there definitely is a cost, but I know whatever you pay to certify the next year, unless there's massive change in your organization, sales wise, I thought it was based on your number of employees, but if it's sales wise, I've been paying pretty much the same thing.
Let me see. Let me pull this up here. Oh, let me go back. While I'm pulling this up, did you have a second question?
Yes, I put them in the chat. Is there a special committee for women with disabilities? You have a lot of other groups, women of color, the Pride group and the Hispanic group. Have you thought about the people with disabilities as its own group?
So WBEC ORV only has the Woman of Color Committee. At the national level, there are some additional ones, like he talks about Pride and Hispanic. I don't know if Nationals has a program for women with disabilities. I don't recall hearing about one. We typically at our level adopt the programs that are coming from the national level. So I think that may be really great feedback that you could direct to the national organization, because we know that there are definitely WBs out there that that are kind of that follow that thought process, or that where it would be beneficial to them. So I think that's definitely something you could recommend to the nationals.
Yeah, there'd be a great collaboration with Disability In that has its own certification. It's called Disability Owned Business Enterprise, which I'm certified. So I could see you attracting a lot more to your certification because they're already certified as disability owned. And there's women and men, but you could probably attract a lot more women from that certification.
Yeah, that's a really good feedback. Like I said, I'm not quite sure. That would definitely have to be something that comes from the national level. Barb, I heard you trying to add something.
No, I was just going to say, and Rosemary, exactly what you're asking. This is where your forum comes in, and this is where we get to take it, because I'm sure your next question is, how do I get to recommend it to national? This is where we, as part of your ORB forum, is able to communicate different things back to be able to get answers for you. Because as to Dr. K's point, right now, there is not anything that I'm aware of either as far as with disabilities. I know veterans certification and disabled vets, they have a, on a federal level, or the WBE, correct? Not, but that's a very good thing that I can take the forum.
Yeah,
And have them.
definitely. Morgan, can you stop sharing your screen for just one moment? I'm gonna share my screen, and then Liz, I'll come to your question next in the chat. And Sally, I know that you had a question as well. And so just kind of based off of some of the questions I'm seeing, is everyone here already certified, or are there some folks who are not certified? I see Sally shaking her head, yes, she's certified. Okay, so let me share my screen really quickly. This is the cost to apply for certification. So if you are not a certified WBE, this webinar that you just participated in was kind of like your 201 type of level, right? And so typically it's more structured for our WBEs who are already WBE certified. So they've already completed their certification process with us. There is another webinar for those who are not certified, and I can drop the link into the chat for those that may not be certified, and you can attend that webinar, and that's going to answer a lot of the questions that you may have regarding cost and process and how to get started and all of that. That's not something we cover in this webinar, just because if you're in this webinar, typically you've already done all of that. But these are the costs for certification, for your WBE certification, $350 up to $1,250, depending upon your annual gross revenue as reported on your federal taxes. So just to share that information. And then, like I said, I will drop the link to the next certification webinar into the chat for anyone who happens to be on this call that is not already certified. Sally, go ahead with your question.
And I think it's pronounced, is it WASB or WOSB?
WOSB.
Mhm.
WOSB.
So what if we didn't click on that because we didn't know we could? Do we have to redo all the paperwork to get that now?
No.
Okay.
Can I jump in, Dr. K, unless you have something?
Yeah, go
'Cause
right ahead.
I am WOSB certified. Okay. In the first year, I didn't realize I needed to check the box. Okay. So because I wasn't aware. Okay. All you need to do for the first year, so you don't have to go through everything else, go out to sam.gov and do it out there. It's a lot less paperwork. And they will because they recognize that certification. It's just so much easier because you're already doing your WBE certification to check the box. But if you need it this year, the federal government going out to sam.gov and applying for that, it makes it a lot simpler, because I had to do that the first year because I wasn't aware that I was able to just check the box.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps.
Now, if I don't do it this year, can I do that next year with recertification?
Yes, that's saying yes. Yeah. Next year, just look at next year. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
And what's the advantage to checking that box and getting that second certification?
It is federal. If you're in sam.gov, okay, sam.gov, the federal government recognizes women-owned small business. Our certification that you have now is nationally recognized, among the private industries, the universities, and different things like that. But the federal government recognizes WOSB. That's the only difference.
Thank you. All right, going to Liz's question in the chat. So Liz, you asked if there is a list of all of our corporate members. So if you had asked this question last year, the answer would have been yes, and you would have found it on our website. Because of some of the changes to the climate and the political era that we're in right now, we have actually, both at the national level as well as at the local level, have removed that listing of corporates from our websites, just so that way we can make sure that our corporates are safe. Just because, as all of you know, just even being able to say that they still support working with women-owned businesses and things of that nature can sometimes put them in a negative spotlight. And so we want to be able to protect all of our corporates. So we do not have a list of all of our corporates that's available. There is, however, an ability in WeBank Link to search for corporates, and I believe even you can email corporates through WeBank Link. And so that's kind of that second question where you asked about like specific points of contact and things of that nature. Also, one of the really great opportunities that we have as you begin to get more involved, for those who are certified who are WeBank certified WBEs, we do have some doing business with corporate sessions that we offer. And oftentimes, that's a chance for our corporates to have an hour webinar. They talk about what their sourcing needs are. They talk about how to navigate their platforms, who to contact, different things like that. So as you see those, especially next year, because we're kind of scaling, they're slowing down as we hit the latter part of this year. As you see those, definitely sign up for those free webinars and attend those, because that's a really great small group environment for you to sit with whoever that person is, and they're sharing all of that information there.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful. Is there, so I understand why it wouldn't be publicly shared, that makes sense, but would it be shared within the network of already certified group?
We
Like,
don't have a list. No.
okay. Got it.
No.
Do you happen to have a list of people who were giving those corporations a hard time, just asking for a friend?
We don't have that list either.
Oh, okay.
Tell your friend we don't have that list either. I will say though, if you look at our events, now it's not an exhaustive list, right? So like if you look at Catch the Wave, Bold and Brilliant, some of our larger events where we have sponsors, all of our corporates are not included in that, right? Because we do have some corporates that say, hey, we're still committed, just don't put our name on it. Here's the money. We want to make sure your WBEs have everything that they need. Just don't put our name on there. But if you look at, if you went to our calendar, for example, and you looked at our doing business series, and you looked at all of the doing business series that we did this year. Now, that's not all of our corporates because we have over 70 and we've done like maybe 15 or 20 of those. But those are our corporates who you could do business with. So I'd say like looking at who our sponsors are, looking at our events that we have that we are doing business events that we have. Those are some ways that you can find out who some of our corporates are. Honestly, some of the best ways though to really learn who these corporates are is by coming to the events that we have, because that's the opportunity where you're literally sitting in the room side by side, chit-chatting, eating, whole 9 yards with our corporate partners.
And I was going to say too, if you have your own hit list, which I would advocate or suggest that you do, like I want to do business with XYZ, then call one of your sisters and say, are they a corporate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that narrows it
Yep.
down. And then because if they are, then also they can say yes, and you need to contact such and such is the supplier diversity person or the contracts person. So have your list and ask the opposite way. Put it that way.
Very true. Very true. Let me see a couple other questions. How to sign up for the newsletter. I was looking on our website to see if it's still there. So give me just 1 second. While I'm looking for that, I will go to the other question about about ORV BDP. So if you keep an eye on our newsletter, our social media platforms, things like that, when the application opens again, which will be probably the latter part of this year or very beginning of January, that is when you will be able to apply for the BDP program.
With the recording, I will say that I am also including the link to our most recent newsletter. And
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure you can sign up through that link.
From there. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, because I'm not seeing it on the website. I'm pulling the most recent. The newsletter literally just went out yesterday. So
Yeah,
hot
and
off the
it
press.
is on there. I was going to say, because somehow I had somebody in my company hit unsubscribe. And so Courtney said, hey, Barb, you're unsubscribed. You need to go out. And so I was looking for that to say how you do it. And exactly. Thank you, Morgan. And that's exactly, she's one of the newsletters, and at the bottom of the newsletter, it takes you out there to say subscribe.
Perfect.
I think those are all the questions in the chat. Are there any other questions?
There was one, did we talk about how to apply for ORVB?
Yes, I did. I said that when the application comes out, the latter part of this year, beginning of January. So there'll be posts in our socials as well as in the newsletter on how to apply for that when that opens. Morgan, can you share? Hi, you're a step ahead of me. Thank you. Okay, so as we quickly wrap up, because I know we're over time, two things that I'll ask of you. One, if you are not watching this on your phone and you have the ability, if you could pull out your phone and scan this QR code and just provide us some additional feedback in regards to this session today and how wonderful Morgan and Barb were, because I know they are fantabulous. If you happen to be watching this on your phone or are not in the position to be able to scan this code right now, don't worry, because as Morgan mentioned, when she sends that recap next week, it's going to have a link to the survey there. And so you can click the link to the survey at that time, regardless whether you do it now or whether you do it then. I just ask that you please do it, because we can't get better unless we hear back, unless we get that feedback from you all. And then while you're doing that, I want to talk about some of our upcoming events that we have, just so that you are aware. So September 23rd is developing an effective capability statement. If you don't have a capability statement, don't know what a capability statement is, have one, but you know you need some assistance, this is a free webinar where you need to be. Regardless of whether you are certified or not, you can attend that webinar. And so that's going to be a really great webinar. It's from 11 to 12. If you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to our events page on our website. Yes, on our website. And then you can register for any of the events that you would like to attend from there. September 24th, that Doing Business with Quanta, those were those corporate workshops that I was talking about. That is only for our certified WBE. So if you're not certified yet, you can't attend that yet. But once you get certified, you will be able to attend that. And then October 2nd, if you're in the Cincinnati area, we're having a WBE Connect. And that's a really great networking opportunity for both certified and non-certified WBEs. So you'll definitely want to register for that if you're in Cincinnati or near the Cincinnati area, or feel like just making a road trip and want to drive to the Cincinnati area. Those are always a whole lot of fun. And then I think I did put into the chat that November 6th, becoming a certified WBE. If you're not certified, or if you know somebody who's not certified, but they may be interested, that's going to be a really great webinar for them to attend as well. And with that, if there aren't any additional questions, I would like to thank you all for joining today. If Barb did drop her email address into the chat, so if you have any questions that pop up in your mind afterwards, definitely reach out to Barb, and she will be able to assist you or get you connected to the right person who can assist you. I will also drop my email address into the chat as well, just in case you have any questions regarding programming or anything like that. I'll be able to assist you with that as well. And also, if you need to get on the newsletter, you can shoot me an email and I'll get you added to the newsletter as well. All right. Thank you everybody for joining, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time.